We are back with the Scourge Lord. We have some clear plans that we're just going to get right into. We're going south with Human to make this a pyramid. Hopefully he survives getting there, otherwise we're going to have to deal with that in a much different way. We have Evan Kelp advancing north. He will reroute to go deal with that witch, and then hopefully by the point that all occurs, we'll have built a pyramid up here with Kadur. Which, I'm trying to still decide the exact location. A problem is, I guess it doesn't matter at this point. We're almost wrapping with the game if I start sucking resources from the capital. But it will turn it into a haunted capital, which if you know about, it ends up spawning all kinds of nasty creatures, independents out of it, that will attack you. So we don't want to deal with that. We'll attack this army with our friend Kal. I think we're mostly just going to be saving up for a bless. They have a magic lamp. I think that was taken from us many moons ago. I think that's one of ours. This giant guy here. And one thing I wanted to... I misclicked. Would have loved to take out that army, but looks like we're going to have to wait in the snow-covered mushroom land here that is the fairy circle. But the thing I wanted to talk about this time around is this idea that the witch is usually pretty hard to deal with. And I've mentioned a couple times that our poison resistance is like selectively good versus certain, or our resistances are selectively good versus certain things. 50% poison resistance with regen is just insane. Usually when you're fighting the witch, you're going to have to live with the fact that you're going to lose a lot of men to poison. Like, if the Baron fights the Witch, he's screwed in terms of he's going to lose a bunch of troops. He's going to get them charmed, perhaps. There's a whole bunch of bad things that can happen with that. But with our current guy, we don't have these same problems that fall other factions. Geez. Here's the big one here. They don't have any level 3 casters, do they? I'm trying to think of what I should do. We want to get more Dark Blessings. I don't think we're going to do any more Scourge Summons until we lose some men here. We'll go take out the small army. Start causing some attrition for them. This thing is just going to... I think we'd win this battle for sure because of this guy. I'm just afraid of them beating through our lines enough. This guy is insane. I love this dude. I almost would like to get more of them, but that would be very, very expensive on our life force. Let's get some cell souls and archers here. Just a paltry defense to defend against maybe this. They'd probably die, because they just get ice blasted over here, and they don't have cold resistance. Not something we were blessed with. It's a bad joke. Bad joke. Don't do that. Alright. Oh god, look at the ant problem. Look at the ants! Oh, there's so many. They're everywhere. Ugh. Now, I'm really going back and forth. This faction, I can't decide whether I like it or not. Thematically, it's really cool. But there's just so many problems with it. Where... if we had had a different start, because I had some practice games, and those practice games just did not go, like, well at all if you start in the middle, which, you know, the middle of Elysium is always hard. It's always hard, but, you know, there's factions where it's more or less playable with. The Demonologist has trouble picking up in the middle of Elysium. The Baron has little to no trouble dealing with it. The Senator can deal with it fine. The Illusionist is going to be good at basically most situations you throw them into, bar a few unique circumstances at the early game, in my opinion. But the Scourge Lord is just like desperately festering wound. Thankfully, he'll heal that, I hope, before he gets diseased. He's got permanent regen. But I'm just like kind of a little bit mixed on this faction because of it's got some good stuff to it, right? It's got some really cool summons. It's got a cool tree you can go down with these blesses and kind of start to really do something fancy. we take this fight? We have Cell Souls here. Oh, and they only have soldiers. Yeah, we'll take this. We'll build a couple dudes, and then we'll put down a pyramid, like right here-ish. It'll conflict with one of our pillars here, but that's okay. We're not looking to get more and more life force, necessarily. It's not why we're building it. Can't do our Dark Blessing yet. Could go kill this. I'm a little worried, though, about getting stuck in a tower when this guy's nearby, so I think instead we'll opt to take this out. Just killing one of their towers. Khal can continue expanding northward, dealing with all this stuff. I don't think we need to recruit more there at this current moment. Let's get some more Cell Souls. Fill out that fortress. Umaman can go south. But yeah, it's just super complicated in the idea that this faction, once it takes off well. With this Bless stuff is crazy. I'm glad the commenter who mentioned the Bless, thank you, because otherwise we would have probably gone a much different direction for much longer than anticipated. Because they mentioned the Bless, I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'll check it out. And I did a small test game where I was like, I wonder if these Bless, because I hadn't seen all the Bless effects. I got like a +1 strength Bless, and I was like, oh, well, okay. Not worth this much life force. But then, you know, having tested this and just getting like regeneration and fire shield, I'm just like, oh god, okay, I see this and I see why this is value now. I just got a bad roll on my first attempt at the Bless and I kind of dismissed it. But yeah, and I'm noticing something with the tornadoes is that, you know, they just run in way too quick. And when you have that issue of them running in so quick, you're gonna end up losing them. Because they have that flying tag. And I'm starting to feel really weird about the flying tag. The flying tag is good on walls, but everywhere else causes you a lot of trouble. And especially in the late game, the flying tag will tend to send your men to their deaths. Which I'm not in love with. Okay, we're gonna hit that Dark Blessing. Well, that's absolutely lame. Not worth. But I guess all these guys are going to be hitting like rocks at this point. God, 14 strength, 11 strength. Yeah, these guys just tear through things now at least 7 damage when they hit. So, let's kill this Colossus while we're here. We'll build some Cell Souls for this guy. We'll spawn this hero too. Curious what he got. I just got a little mask. Put this on you for some extra HP. Heroes are actually really bad chassis for us because they don't get the Bless that everyone else successfully has. We're going to want to build a pyramid. I'm a little paranoid about this guy being so close. He's got 31 troops. I almost wonder if being in the tower would be a better idea. Why do we have Fear ticked? We did not tick his spells properly. Yeah, and these are all like ice dudes, and they have these ghost rending claws, which... Ooh. Not loving that. Thankfully, these don't really do much versus us, but they're... Just to be clear, the reason why I have an issue with this isn't because they're extra effective banish. That does nothing. The Ghost Rending Claws, it's because they're 2 attacks. You know? And, you know, a lot of these units have more than 1 attack, but they don't do that simultaneously, where this is like, they get in melee, and they just thump thump. Whereas if they're using their bow, they're using their bow. If they're using their dagger, they're using their dagger. These guys, too, because the Throw of Frost can be pretty dangerous, because they'll end up doing that, and they'll come in with their club. And then they also have their second wind, basically, when they're with their Spirit Force. Did recruit here already. Just going to run away a little bit, because they're going to get on this tile. We're actually going to move these guys out of the city. It's survival in the city. Move them down here and meeting with this army, and they're just going to defend the pyramid and maybe kill this army when they can. Like to do that. Khal can move up here. Gonna go down here. I hope you guys enjoy when I do talks about the factions. I enjoy it. Just got a bump where I get off the screen and minimize my whole game. We could move Hanif, since he's been spawned down there, up here to scout for us. I don't see her right now. She might just be sitting on her pillar. This should go fine. Numbing our own guy, but he's got 15 regen. He'll be absolutely okay. He's getting thunked, though, pretty hard. But even if he did fall, he has a chance of coming back through his regen. Just bumping our own guys with their spells. But most of them will instantly heal. Okay, she's right there. What's up, Mr. Cat? My cat's having some bad diarrhea. I gotta take him to the vet probably very soon. Okay, we're being attacked. I believe this is our castle. We'll probably lose it, but these guys do have lightning resistance, so that elemental doesn't do much to them. And it's still 1 to 10 damage, so it's 1 to 5. Yeah, just doing 4 to this guy. They will win this battle. But you can see here, we'll take plenty of guys with us as they just thunk into these fire-shielded, you know, giant attack monsters. As they rush forward. This guy's not getting a fire shield proc? Oh, this is one of the fire ones. Okay, I was like, why is he not dying? Yeah, these guys do well against anything that's not fire resistant, but the fire resistant guys, the ghost especially, they don't have magic weapons, so... Are they gonna win? If these two guys, oh my, these champions, these absolute goons, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. So you can see how these guys become crazy eventually. Where, you know, it's like, oh god, 50 gold for 2, and then it becomes like, oh god, 50 gold for 2? For 2 that just took out this army, basically? I mean, there was archers, but don't pretend, let's not pretend the archers really did the work here. Ooh, silver armor. Okay, we'll definitely take that silver armor. We'll put it on Kadur. Silver armor just gives us a constant mirror image, shock resistance of 100, 3 armor, and 5 HP, which is just, this is a great item. If you see this in the shop, this is one of the better ones. We haven't gotten a lot of cities or towns in my Baron run yet. That's on episode 3 when I'm recording this. And, you know, this would be exemplary on like a High Lord. On us, it's insane, because, you know, we're regenerating. We could put it on a Cell Soul and he'd be even better, but I'm okay with just keep it on our caster just in case. And yeah, this will make him real beefed out. It's a good item, very good item. You know, there's better items out there, but like this is definitely a purchase. Whereas like, you know, the mask, it's like, yeah, okay, it's all right. One of the weirder ones that spawns units with it. We'll subserviate this guy. We're actually, before we do our thing, we're probably going to go kill this stack. Although they might jump on that fortress now. Just trying to make sure my cat's okay. You know, every once in a while, I'm going to take a peek at him. Do this recording here. Let's just do more Cell Souls, frankly. Archers didn't do much. And here we'll have a magic lamp now. This guy will heal his wound. God, we have to be real careful about this. I think we're going to move away. We're going to try and do a little ploy here. We're going to move Hanif up. We'll just leave the magic rod with him in the anticipation, and hopefully he doesn't get killed by independents like these deer or anything. I think he'd kill the deer. He'd die to this. But, the hope is that we can distract the witch upwards by stealing the swamp, and then we go over here and build the pyramid. That's our hope. You can never really tell what the AI is gonna do, just like a human person, but best laid plans hopefully will go well. Hopefully it is a good laid plan. It's not like the craziest thing. Peddler's got a weird magic items on him. Ace of Pain. That'd be nice to have on some of our Cell Souls, but he's all the way down there. We've kind of, we've let a little too many things go down here, and we're starting to have some problems. Keep in mind, if they retake the watchtowers now, from what I've noticed, If they get in these watchtowers, they will just continuously spawn units and go reconquer your stuff. So don't let that happen. But you can, same with like the brigands stuff, don't let the brigands take over. And build just a couple cell souls here, make sure these spiders don't take over. Cell souls will beat spiders. As our ants lose to a moose. Kelp takes this fortress. We don't need to watch this. Excuse me. Alrighty. Oh, goodness, horrors. Yeah, ants don't stack up to horrors. Not worried about it. Oh, they're on these pyramids down here. Maybe I am worried about it. Although, they have a bunch of ants to contend with, including more colonies that are going to end up spawning here. If you don't know, if you're new to the game, or if you've just never seen it before, the pyramid actually generally has an entrance to it in the void. It can't go back into the void, but coming out of the void, you can leave the void through pyramids if you get stuck there. If you can find the exits, or if one did spawn in your game. I guess there's a chance that there was not one ever, but hopefully you don't roll unluckily. Some dwarves here. Okay, I don't know. Just chill Evan out. We'll kill the dwarves eventually. Just trying to gather our bearings. I do want to embrace that big fight with the Bakmono. I don't want to skip that. So my plan isn't to accidentally... Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to move here. Make sure we have the resources to build the pyramid. And then do that. Over here, we're taking this poultry force, and we're going to reconquer this. I'm worried about losing our captain. At the same time, I want this on one of the cell souls, because then the cell soul will always survive, versus, like, getting very unlucky. I think you'd have to get very unlucky with those cell souls currently. It does, it is interesting, though, because, you know, usually these guys are super unimpressive, and you look at this unit, and you're like, oh, it looks like a Corsair. Which the Corsairs aren't very good. Corsairs are okay. They're not very good. And now it's, like, insane. You have this insane army of cell souls who will just, like, just destroy things. I can't get over that. It's thematically very cool. That you're just, like, sucking the life force out of the earth and pouring it kind of, like, deviously into your subjects. I'd like to see them play around a little more with the bless mechanic in this game, for sure. But, we'll have to see if they changed anything with the L bless. I doubt it, though. I doubt they've changed anything too crazy with that. Although they have their holy swords now, which are insane, as their patrollers. Which I'm just like, what? You'll see that later, or you can see that, I believe in our Baron run, we ran across one of those swords. But I think maybe even, no, I don't think we saw L in the kobolds. Beautiful damage, getting a little bit of lag. Might want to save soon. I am running out of room on my main drive. I need to throw some things on my external, or upload. And that's mostly D&D stuff, guys. I've been posting almost all my Conquest stuff immediately, although I need to delete old things that I've left on there. Okay, that's fine. They went towards the trade post. I don't care if they take that. Up here, I think we can do another bless. Okay, we're fully fire resistant, which is good. That's not bad. Not bad at all. We'll kill these dwarves. Looks like there's a big ledge over here. We're trying to find out where the dwarves live. We can kill them probably first. Kadur over here can probably build the thing here, and a pyramid might reach the city and stuff, but I think it will. I'm not too concerned about that. We'll ignore this watchtower. I'm not super interested in it. Okay, oh, there's the witch's fortress. So she is just like here. There's something going on with the AI here. She should not be sitting in this corner of the world unless she's... I'm guessing something with the ships is making it want to leave and go somewhere, and it's just, it doesn't understand that it does not have the resources to build enough. Maybe that's what's happening. But we're going to build a pyramid here. and then eventually teleport Kelp down here to go deal with it. 100% poison resistance would have been nice. You'll see this army is just crazy with poison. And all these guys have poison. Although this poison won't bother us too much. These guys have poison. These guys don't, but they're resistant. This has a poison breath. So what we, when we look at this army, we might as well just leave the beetles behind and summon something or recruit more cell souls is probably our go-to. These guys actually don't have the best magic resistance right now, and I'm worried about charm. Is she a hag? I believe we've seen she's a hag. Oh no, she's just a witch. Well, that's obvious because she's recruiting everything and she's not moving outside of her thing. Which, I'd very much advise her to do if I was her strategian, but am not her strategy commander. Nor do I desire to be. We did. Let's just build some cell souls and fortresses and be irritating, much as we can be. Okay, and we're gonna just want to save enough so we can get the pyramid. I think we already have enough for next turn. Yeah. Oh god, you don't have the skill? Oh god, that's a mistake. Oh, I didn't even think about it. He's just a herald. Okay, that needs to change pronto. Hopefully the witch is distracted by our single guy, and hopefully we get lucky on our Scourge stuff. We just used all our points for a bless. She's coming right over too. Oh god, I'm scared. Okay, our ants are still trying to kill the horrors. These guys regenerate in the front though, and they're getting pinged by the Mind Blast, which will just tear them apart. Here, we're gonna kill a peddler as our swarm gets attacked. Bottle of living water. That's a really nice magic item. Any of the elemental items are pretty good. Okay, guys. Hope and pray. Hope and pray. Oh, God. Our prayers are very unanswered. Shit. She's just gonna boop boop. Kill us. Okay, well, we're gonna try and get away. Might have been better to send him up to the swamp. I think he's definitely gonna get killed. We're gonna run away for a minute. That's a mistake on my part. Very bad mistake. Let's see here. Ooh, we got another mountain stronghold. We had a lot of Bakmonos spawn in this game. Well, since we're not building a pyramid down there, we'll build something over here. And we'll pyramid this so that Kelp can teleport when he needs to. And then we'll have to save Scourge points for that. We'll take this village. We'll go kill that army with Kadur when we can, but I don't think we'll be able to do it relatively soon. Build some cell souls. Okay, and do we have a place where we can build a bottle of living water? That would be worthwhile. Attack that. Hopefully that goes well. Probably gonna lose some troops. Let's just build it. I didn't want to actually do this. Let me click off. Let me click off. Won't let me click off. Okay, well, there, it's here now. This summons a water elemental, if you don't know. Pretty good. Pretty solid. I'm just loving this. Oh, the fire resistance. And a fire shield. Not bad at all. This might get them. Starting to overwhelm them. Oh, the Mind Blast has done it. But it almost killed. Oh, ooh, no. He's been poisoned. Okay, he killed. Oh, but they just regenerated. Okay. Our ants are fighting an endless war with the horrors that have spawned down there. Regeneration is truly their bane. And, yeah. There we go. Okay, she's attacking that. And, I think that means we run further. Pyromancer. We will definitely recruit that if we can. Okay, we're gonna try something. Nope. Okay, yeah. Instinct was right. Continue to run. With our big-ass beetle. Our big beetle. We'll leave this guy alone for now. I know they have this, but I don't want them to lose unnecessarily here. It's not our objective to kill them right now. We're trying to get a cool battle. Ooh, there's another city we're going to kill. That's certainly going to kill that eventually, but it'll take a while. And then those become haunted cities, I believe. I'm pretty sure they do. I know the towns just... This says city ruins, but I think that's actually a town. Maybe it just does turn to ruins. I know the capital turns into a haunted capital. I know that for sure. I don't know about the rest of it. But you know, if you're a necromancer, the Scourge Lord can do some work for you if they kill the capital, but I doubt they're inclined to do that as the AI. I actually haven't seen a very successful Scourge Lord yet, AI. And that indicates something. Oh, we forgot to recruit the Pyromancer. Oh well. It does indicate something to me that maybe the Scourge Lord is not super playable by the AI, obviously. And I'm inclined to think that. I don't see her. Step back. We're gonna do our rituals. I don't think she can see us here just yet, because we have all this stuff controlled, and then we're gonna hit our button next turn, and as soon as we get the pyramid, we're gonna go build it. Hope for the best. This is all good up here. We don't need to conquer this. That's fine. We did take this back. Can continue on our path to end these guardsmen. I want to recruit just a couple cell souls just to make sure these don't spawn a bunch of dudes again. And they're going to take this and create problems. If we put cell souls here and they fight the cell souls will probably still die because the mind burn, but it'll be difficult for them. Actually, the fire shield might... Are they resistant? Are Soltrons, whatever they're called, resistant to fire? I don't remember. I do think, beyond not having a real way to enter places, I think the Scourge Lord has the most potential to conquer the different planes because of all the resistances you can end up having. The Warlock still probably being one of the best factions to do it with. The Scourge Lord, right, with his Bless, you send a bunch of Cell Souls with all, like, you just continually into the late game. You know, we're only on year, what is it? Year 16. If you go like later into the 20s and stuff, you're gonna end up in a position where most likely you'll just continuously get more and more blessed stuff that will protect you. Are we ready for that battle? I don't think so. Let me get ready for that battle. That means a lot of cell souls. Just clogging up the lines. Plenty of our cell souls actually have magic items. That guy does not need that. But Kelp is fully kitted. Could give up his Ring of Protection. But, like, no. It'd actually be very unfortunate if they attacked here. We'd have some problems. Although Kelp would be in the front lines just, like, destroying things with his spells, and they'd have trouble killing him because he regenerates nicely. That's the one big thing. Towers are not a good fight place for us, but this army isn't particularly good at fighting at towers either. All these guys would be useless because they just die in our ranks. The fire guys, these guys are non-consequential anymore. The ice ones still present a little bit of a problem, and the wind guys a little bit, but not so much anymore. Okay, next turn, we're going to hop here and build a pyramid, and hopefully we don't die before then, and then that goal will be accomplished. Solid work. Solid work there. Kill this. Shouldn't be too hard, and that's our... Ooh, I keep hitting this thing on my screen that minimizes us. I really would like to end this episode and finish off the game, which I think we have the potential to do if we go a little longer than usual. Because I like to keep it at 6 here. It feels nice for intro to the faction and a clear, clean play. There we go. Pyramid's built. Almost certainly we'll get killed here unless we run away. But Humamon has done his job as our sacrificial pyramid builder. Very aesthetically fitting that we'd sacrifice people building the pyramids. If you know anything about the history of the pyramids, many people died building those things. As with most slave construction, they were not kind to them. So, very fitting way to build things in Elysium. We'll go take this town. Has this already downgraded? I was totally convinced this was a city before. I'm either going insane or that downgraded already, which is actually super quick if that's true. Oh, it's in range. Okay, yeah, I think it did because it's in range of the pillar. So this was going to be dead either way. Okay, that makes sense now. I'm certain it downgraded now. Before I was like, wait a second, but then I thought, oh yeah, there's this pillar over here, and it's destroyed all this land, and this will just double drain basically. It won't double drain tiles, I don't believe, although I'm unsure of that. I know for a fact though that if this tile gets drained and then it selects another tile, and these overlap, it's going to drain the area quicker. So this will all be desert very soon. And you can see how these mountains of power just decimate regions of the world here. All this is just desertified, and we've just built like a weird desert line up Elysium. What's up, Floki? You doing okay? Sorry for this brief intermission here, but the cat needs pet. He's sick, so... How you doing, bud? Although... Even though he's got diarrhea, he still wants to play like crazy. I'm like, okay, buddy, you need to relax. Alright. We're going to skip that. We know the outcome. I have dwarves running up here again. Last thing we need is some dwarves building a home. Was that a bottled spirit? This item I want to show you, and I actually want to say, I don't know why Illwinter put this in the game. Just going to ignore our... So what this is, let's go find it. This is a bottled spirit. Now, it gives Hades immunity, but there's other items that do this. And it gives you one dispossessed spirit, which is just so bad. It's so bad. Why would you need this? I don't... Like, the Hades immunity is great, right? If you can get there. That being said, I'm not sure if there's new ways into Hades or not, but usually only the Necromancer and the Witch had good access to Hades. And the Demonologist, I suppose, very, very late, and if you're lucky enough to control Orcus. Which, Orcus is very difficult to control if you're familiar. If you're not, don't worry. One day we will cover the Demon Lords. Or you could go back and watch on Conquest of Elysium 4... Warlock run where I go to the Inferno and I show off a lot of that stuff. Another armor bonus. Okay, so this guy has 6. This guy has 6 armor. This is insane. Oh god. All these guys have 4. So that's 6. So like, let's look here. These guys do nothing. These guys might do 1 damage. Man, these guys are... Oh, they have a lot of... Holy shit. 4 XP. I was like, why do they have a +1? These guys usually... And then I looked at them, I'm like, oh god, they have a lot of XP. These guys too? Oh yeah, these are all XP'd out. These guys do nothing. I think the winds that usually do damage will do nothing. Am I confident we'll win this? Pretty confident. Anything else I want to do? I think I want to take it. We're going to have crazy spells. We'll probably lose our beetles and everything else, but the cell souls will just rip through these guys. A little concerned about the hydromancy. But when this guy gets in with his fire shield, he'll just kill everything. Let's watch it. This is not without risk. This is a much larger army. We're a much smaller army, but we have a bunch of magic. Now, there's something I need to do. And we should have done it before. A while ago is what I mean. We need to... Oh, wait, is this the cursed army? Okay, no. Those guys died, didn't they? We want you going absolutely berserk. Which is a great tag to have. This is what it means. It gives a whole bunch of nice stuff. He's going to regenerate more. Where's that lucky stone? throw that on him too. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna go with there. We'll keep this on you, or we could put that on you. No, it's cursed, isn't it? Yeah. You always will have that crystal heart. He's ripped his heart out for a crystal one. Evan Kelp, the Dark One, with a crystal heart. A heart literally made of a stone-like substance. Well, this should be an exciting battle. So, you know, get your snacks, get your movie snacks, get ready to rumble, I should say. We've taken our port. We don't have a commander. I built camel riders. Never on purpose. Something interesting is that these now spawn werewolves, but I don't think I've seen us get any werewolves. Maybe it's only a certain one that does werewolves? I don't know. I just know I've seen old castles spawn werewolves now, but we have not gotten lucky enough to have one. Maybe it's only for certain factions and I'm crazy, but I just know I saw it and I have no idea if that's a thing for everyone. Let me know in the comments if you figured it out yet. Okay, this is the big old fight. We have a level 3 caster. They have a level 2 hydromancer and their garnet sorcery. Do plenty of damage, although their flame stuff is not great versus this army. My estimate is that we lose the tornado, the beetles, and this guy, and the rest all kills everything. It's my prediction. This guy's going to go berserk as soon as he gets hit, but they're going to have trouble hitting him because lucky means half of all attacks are missing him. Physical attacks, that is. Speed through this here a little bit because we want to go fast. These are thick lines, and I'm not trying to sit through the whole thing. We have those spells going off. These guys have no resistance. The beetle's like frozen, basically. He's just numbed, but you know. What's up, Floki? 18 regeneration on our big guy. One problem is this guy's going to start draining life force, but at least he's got some bushes near him right now. You can see our tornadoes already died, and our beetles are not great. So, like, you're just seeing already how ineffective these things become in the late game when you get them. These just are not good, these beetles. And, you know, the tornadoes, they have their place against particular things, but, like, in brawls like this, they're bad. My suggestion, bring them for sieges with large amounts of archers, is what the tornadoes are for. Their air shield will be great. They'll climb over the walls and disrupt ranks, but in fights like this, they do not serve you. But they're not terrible. The tornadoes aren't terrible. These guys are terrible. You know, and right now, they have good armor, but you can see they're getting chewed up. Our spells conflict with them, and they tend to trample into the lines, so they'll get killed by our guys, and it's ethereal, and it's even not doing that great even though it's ethereal. This guy's ethereal, too. My goodness. You can see a lot of guys are getting feared. I don't know if that's from our terror spell or this guy causing dread. This guy also causes fear. Well, they all cause fear, okay. So, plenty of guys causing fear in the front. Things are getting on fire. We'll go a little bit slower. This thing actually might live through the fight. It's because he got a decent spot here with all these fire dudes and not a lot of the ice ones. Ooh, that was a good Chill of the Dead. Stomping some guys. And you'll see, yeah, he's done. He's got a death wish, which, you know, so he's going to be super front-lined, essentially. I don't think that really is a change, but that's actually one of the better wounds, unless it's your caster. If your caster gets it, I have had in one of my practices with the High Cultist that I was just doing for funsies on my own. I had a High Cultist, not a High Cultist. I had like the Golden Arcana mage that I recruited get a death wish, and he ran up towards the front. That was not good. You can see, though, these lines are fine, basically. It's gotten weird and disruptive because of the trample, making their lines weird, too, but once we get up in the fight here, the fire shield will just rip through them. And the ghost, unless they're the fire guys, which these guys, that guy was, it'll just kill them as well. Oh, that guy got pinged. Should still be fine, though. And a lot of our chill stuff will kill the fire guys, where our fire shield or maybe our units might not. Although our units can just tear through them when they're not ghostified. Some good stuff going on here. And we're already close to their caster. They've summoned a whole bunch of water elementals for this guy. He's got Rising Tide too, which is, you know, it's not actually that bad. A spell to fight against. Might cause a little problem. This guy's magic resistance is crazy. You don't really get magic resistance on our Bless, and if we do, we have just gotten very unlucky not to get it. But it's something to keep in mind with these guys. And I wonder, I'm curious to know if these guys get charmed by L. I mean, their soul is sold. Maybe. I don't know. It'd be weird if the L armies that converted these guys were running around with a bunch of cell-sold people who crave human flesh. Very strange. Running up on their Garnet Sorceress here. I mean, she has Garnet Magic. She's technically a Hamea or whatever, but it's okay. This guy's just torn through the front line. These guys, and you can see he's not even hurt. And he's ethereal too now, and he's all berserked. Crazy. This guy's crazy good. If you get some magic items on him like those, they'll be even better. You could up his regeneration, but at this point, with 10% regeneration, you don't need any more, really. I guess there's a couple situations where you might want more, but generally you're not going to need it, and I just advise to stick with what you got here and put some other buffs on him if you can get him, like Berserk. This guy's just draining. I believe he's just drained the Serpent of all his life, and that's why the Serpents are hurt. Oh, well, a Serpent just died to this dude. But that was our big Oni faction battle. Big battle versus the Bakemono, and absolutely crushed, I'd say. Lost 3 level 3 summons, though, with the Scourge Wind and the Beetles. I think this does highlight some of the problems. We did lose at least one of our Cell Souls permanently. Did not respawn. I just heard my cat. He's rolling a ball around. I'm like, I thought you were sick. Why are you rolling a ball around? What are you doing, buddy? Okay. Where are the dwarves? Well, we have other priorities. We need to deal with this, and I think it's time to go down there. And you can see, as easy as pie, Evan is down here. I don't think this is going to be our last episode. Ooh, we need to save. It's getting laggy. Sure not to save over the Baron stuff. Is this the... I can't remember what my second for this one was. I always try and run with suit 2 saves now. I haven't done it yet, but in the past, I have saved over things, and now that I'm putting stuff online all the time, I just don't want it to end halfway through because I misclicked. I'd be very sad. Easy kill. We'll move with this guy to wipe up the Bakemono. He should do fine, I think. I don't think there's anything too crazy. Okay, and then we might want to start dealing with the witch now. Kind of want to never level 3 summon or recruit some troops for this army. Probably should have went and grabbed some troops before we came down here. Army's a little light, although none of this stuff is going to be very good. They have doppelgangers. I don't see any doppelgangers. Looks like she's stuck with most of her level 1 stuff. She's spawned a lot of it, including some undeads here. I think we're going to try and take the port. Human will likely die if she goes and jumps on him, but so be it. 58 units versus 100. Oh, wait, they have Murderous Mist, which I believe drops outside the walls. Do we actually want to go in on that? That's going to be a lot of poison ticks. We'll chill here for a second. We'll try and get another big level 3 guy before we go in. Thinking about it, I'm a little frightened now of that whole business. A level 3 guy is not coming super soon, though. Skip that. Don't need to see the moose fight. Although she's backed off. Just lost in mind to some dwarves, which is unfortunate. Hop this direction. Take this. We're just running this guy to kill the Bakemono. Oh, what is going on here? They're actually moving this army out. Not surprised. They get free spawned from these places, so it's mostly just garbage, but take this city back and we'll kill this army. We'll go take the Temple District, and Kyle can probably move over here too. God, I'm really conflicted. These guys are gonna hurt. It's feeling like we're gonna need another episode. Kinda wanna go steal that tower from her when she moves off of it. Okay. We need to start getting some cell souls. But we're aware. We could actually, Evan could take advantage of his pyramid ability and go teleport up here, grab these guys, and come back. That might be what we do. This fight will be easy, as you can see. Fire Shield just crushed them, along with all of our archers and things. Our beautiful armies getting attacked in a forest. It's funny, though, now you can see Elysium is at war. The Ant Plague versus the Nature. The Infernal Torch, not a bad magic item. Actually, it's a great magic item because we have fire resistance, which makes me want to disappear even more. You deserve a reward for your service, and your reward is you don't have to die. As Evan will go this direction. Rather than do more level 3s, we'll just get a bunch of cell souls here, and you can have that torch. I'll actually drop Homomon. We don't need him in this army. Take a scout, why not? This necklace does not belong on you, it belongs on you. Where's that Infernal Torch? We want that in the front. This guy is now an absolute badass with this fiery torch, which will do no damage to us. This guy is extra. Why is he extra? Oh, I guess this guy has natural... Yeah, he has natural fire resistance, doesn't he? I kind of want to save up even for more of a bless, which is weird to say at this point, but I kind of want to grab that poison resistance if we can get it, but it's going to be a difficult one to get, obviously. Ignoring the slums. I don't care about the slums. So what's happening? Where are all these fights? I don't know where all these fights are, but our ants are getting wily. You can see we're seeing a little more anthills spawn up here and there. Some of these queens haven't nested. Oh god, there's a... I didn't see that one before. Yeah, they'll start to get out of control. If you do enough level 2 summons, they'll get crazier. Crush that. These guys might actually die. They don't have the enough mind burns to deal with that. Is their issue. More magic items, and we'll just keep kitting these guys out as they hand them to us. Another Cell Soul with more HP and the ability to cast, like, Curse or something? I don't even know where it is, but it's somewhere in here. Oh shit, I had him selected to go over there. You can sit here. You could go kill the dwarves. Not super concerned about them. They can chill there. It is their right. Wait, what? It didn't give us message. Uh-huh. Did we just get nothing? I'm lost. Okay, maybe there's maybe it's not as good as I thought, because maybe in the late game, because maybe it doesn't give you continuous results. Okay, now I have the inclination to try it one more time before we end the game. Because I'd like to know if that's a bug or if that's meant to be something. We should have been recruiting up here the whole time, but we will continually get cell souls here. Could also just keep teleporting around and grabbing cell souls everywhere to fight these final battles. As you go do your duty. And this battle should go fine. This is a pretty weak army. She's got frost magic, but we have hella guys here who will kill her. And also more spellcasters even, so... should be fine. This army can move in this direction as well, although I doubt they'll see combat. Unfortunately, only Evan has that great mobility. Oh, more regeneration, don't mind if I do. We could put this on Evan potentially, and he could be insane at even more regeneration. I think we'll not do that. Oh, and there we go, even more cell souls. Where's that Hydra skin armor? I just want to... it wouldn't be that... Oh, I guess it would, because it would give more HP. But this would give 5 more regeneration, so he'd be sitting pretty at... just 25 regeneration, 25% of his HP. It's insane. This guy is now incredibly healthy, although we probably want to match some of these so that these guys are just absolute tanks. We'll turn this guy into a super soldier. Or this guy could be it. Yeah, I think that guy might be the one. Throw that on. Oh, and we could throw the mask on him. Oh, goodness. And against a witch, this guy is a god. Absolute god. Ridiculousness. Okay. Well, we're gonna save up for a little bit and just go through some turns here, because I have a question on my mind now about all that business we just saw. We will absolutely slaughter this army if we can. We're probably gonna take this back, but cell souls will provide them some difficulty. Maybe not much with only 2 or 3, but, Oh dear god, she has Hailstorm. She actually has Blizzard, which is one of my favorite ice spells if you have ice immune units, but you can see none of her units were ice immune, so now they're all dead. Which is one of the more unfortunate things that can happen with the AI. It's like, okay, we're gonna die anyway, but let's try and take as many with us. But unfortunately for her, we have a decent chance of surviving that. Well, the dwarves are coming out, guys. They can see the tides turning. Once they were locked in by these Bakmono, who likely did not want to have to deal with them, they are now freed to go explore Elysium. We don't want them setting up another home, as we will build some more cell souls in all of these places. We could set up continuous recruitment. This might actually be a point where we might want to do that. I usually avoid hitting that button, whatever it is. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but usually avoid it. Okay, the AI is starting to get funky. It's just like, what do we do? What do we do? We're dying. Don't kill us. We'll grab an amulet of bear control. Why not? It won't do anything, and we'll grab this and this. And I think it's time to move out. I think it's time to try and kill the witch. Although we still want to do that thing where we figure out if the bless is borked. But we have plenty of things to kill over here as we teleport in and scare her. We want to go take her first. I think that's pertinent. I mean, this army's just gonna die. Let's watch the fireworks as we kill the witch herself and then clean up her remaining settlements. Although, that might be her last commander. No, this guy's a commander, yeah. Just had to make sure he's a man flayer and not one of their... What is it? They have cavalry that's like that. Can't think of the name of it. And I don't think I could pronounce it even if I knew the name off the top of my head. Let's do this. Beep bop boop. I do have autosave on too, but the saves of posterity, I think are still a good idea. So this battle. Lots and lots of poison, and they have some regeneration in their army. They have some paralyzing, but she's got charm, which if she grabs like this guy, we'll be in it for a heck of a time. But that not occurring, we will definitely win. She could definitely charm some Cell Souls. This guy probably being the worst Cell Soul for her to charm. This guy actually has a spider right in front of him that I believe he summoned. Yeah. But this guy is also 100% poison resistance now, and he's just gonna thump through these guys with this. This army isn't actually that scary. The charm is really what I'm very, very frightened of. It's not that scary for us. This would be like attrition hell for most factions. Who could win it? I guess you could send... With the Baron, you have Unicorn Knights, which are pretty good versus the Witch. Although if it's a Hag and she has level 3 spells, that's a different story. And Hydras are still pretty dangerous and all that stuff. But this is a bunch of level 1 stuff. I think Bog Beasts are level 1. Pretty certain. This guy's getting poison stacks. You're not confused, are you? No, you're weakened. Okay, she does have confusion. Which our ethereal beetle would actually... It could, oh, why have you been pushed back by these big guys? That sucks. This guy was really cool. If you don't know, the Infernal Torch, we didn't talk about it. It gives fire resistance, so this guy is now... He's now basically healed by fire. No, he's not. But, you know, he's totally immune. 100%, 100 plus 100%. And he's also got a burst fire damage attack. But he won't get to use that so much. Cold spells will hurt these guys plenty. Some poison, but poison does not affect us like it may others. With cold and fire shield. Tried to charm something. If this guy gets charmed, we'll be in for a heck of a fight. Because killing this guy is not a simple task. I think if... Why is that on? Oh, I have my alert box on. Hold on, I need to turn that off somehow. Well, thank you for subscribing to the channel, man. That was on YouTube. I didn't... That usually doesn't ping. Well, I thought that was turned on. I'm so confused. Well, we'll fix that later. Thanks for subscribing to the YouTube, buddy. Oh my god. What? That scared the hell out of me. I'm a little bit in shock. We just killed the witch. It was fine. You do see we got one charmed. If she had her big AoE charm, we'd be in a hell of a lot of trouble. We have some poison in the back lines, too. Oh my goodness. My goodness gracious. Chomp. Well, we have killed Hippa, the witch. We got a whole bunch of stuff. The dwarves are actually doing some of our work for us. Well, that's unsatisfying. The Bakmono's last commander was killed by the dwarves. I guess they've been oppressed. The dwarven people have been oppressed for so long. Sitting up in the mountains while the Bakmono expand across Elysium. We needed our vengeance as most dwarves do, and we took it with our axes and our picks. And then they were killed by the terrible dark scourge that would wrap across Elysium, forever changing it. Well, I think we'll choose to fight this. Although, we'll wait. Not for any good reason. We're going to wait to see if that bless will work. Because I want to see if that's going to actually work. The rest of the stuff is going to get ready. We're going to build a captain, and we're just going to try and find the dwarves. Oh, there's a port. That's nice. And I think we will finish this episode. We might go a little longer than usual. But we did have a couple episodes that hit 130. Might be looking around there, maybe 120. We'll have to see. But you guys can tell you're in the future. But one thing that's great and horrible about the dwarves is they don't die until you actually kill their Dalva. There's no real way around that. The Dalva has to be killed. Okay, looks like they're up here, which is what I figured. I just want to make sure. And, getting close. We need 950. And, yeah, there's nothing much else for us to do. We're close to our recap zone. God damn it, I hit the button. Okay, just to make sure. Don't go that way. I will sometimes do that when I try and end my turn. I should hit the hotkey, but I love hitting the button. It makes me feel satisfied. And I have a feeling if I did the hotkey, I would accidentally hit the hotkey. Far more often than I accidentally move my units. Okay, let's see here. Okay, we're not seeing any differences. So I guess this is the maximum. Okay, so there is a maximum to this, where you don't get any more blessings. And so we're done with the blessings. Unless this is a bug, and this is the first time this has happened for me, and this is a nice lesson for those of you who haven't spent the time to hit that button so many times. But it looks like, I think 900 is when it stopped working. So maybe you can't go past 900 Scourge power, which is, you know... These guys are crazy, but maybe this faction isn't as viable to go conquer the other planes as I thought it might have been. Because these guys would be good, but they have low magic resistance. I don't know. We'll think about that in a minute. We're going to attack. Hopefully that goes well. I think it will. One thing is these undead are basically immune to our spells that we have. So these are up for these guys to deal with. I'm going to get a lot of guys shot. My hope is we pierce the gate, and maybe he does shadow form more, realizing that he can't cast anything else. These guys will do shadow form, and if we can pop over that gate, we'll certainly keep exploring this way. Moving Kadur up to find the dwarves and slay them, although who knows what we're going to be looking at there. We may need to send more units, so we're going to have a backup squad coming in. Bunch of cell souls. The backup squad being Cal. We might actually... Oh god, okay, wait. We're getting hit with a lot of poison from the Murderous Mist. Let's see how that's affecting us. The one nice thing about this guy getting backlined is he has a potential to drain HP from him. All of our other units are going to die that aren't poison resistance, and we're getting some fear. These guys have good morale. Surprised that guy... Is that terror? Nah, it's just fear, right? Yeah. This guy's already berserked. I was hoping he'd get etherealed here. These guys need to get etherealed too, or we'll have some trouble at the walls. The cold damage, you can see it won't really hurt these guys. Is their howl scare a bear? If this guy gets howled away, I'd be shocked. It does just do chill damage, right? Also causes weakness, okay. Come on, shadow form these dudes before you die of poison. As we just get Murderous Mist like crazy. Fear will hit these guys, though, because they do have morale. They're not invulnerable to fear. I think these guys, no, they're not either. Could get decayed by the Bane, which wouldn't kill us, but would cause a little trouble. We're through the gate. That's good news. And once we get in the melee, it's just Death City. This guy lays down curses and things. Looks like one of our serpents maybe is summoning some shades. Should be more of a minor distraction than anything else. Got some decaying soldiers. Where's our guy with the infernal torch? Did he die already? He might have died. Oh no, he's back here, getting shucked back to the back of the line again. You just berserked. This gate does present a problem to us. We don't have the best spells to deal with undead, and there's a lot of them in this fortress. Not the most I've ever seen, but enough to cause a problem. I had to make sure and check I wasn't live, because there's no way I'd know. I don't have my phone on me, so none of my friends would message me and be able to reach me right now. I also have Discord on Do Not Disturb when I do these, so I'd be pretty unreachable. I should actually have my phone on, so that if I am streaming, I know, but I don't usually worry about that too much. Would be a bit of a spoiler for tonight's episode, as I'm actually pretty close to the time. Sometimes I record these far in advance. Recently, I've just been recording them almost immediately because I went on vacation. It threw all my whole schedule out of route. I went to Nashville right before Conquest 5 came out, so. And we're gonna wrap this up. I'm hoping this was the Witch's last commander. If not, we're gonna have to fight through all the mushroom stuff, which is unpleasant. Not a terrible fight. Definitely lost some cell souls in the fighting. But there's a possibility they'll regenerate, and where's Kelp? Here he is. He's ethereal, isn't he? Yeah, he flew over the gate. And these guys are just dying. Try and find a way out. They would be slaughtered. The witch is dead, killed by the Scourge Lord. We're gonna run out, throw down a save before we completely win this. You can see this faction is pretty powerful, though, at the late game. There's not a lot that can deal with it once you have this blessing online. Shields up, weapons online. Okay. And Kelp can just move up here. I'd like to teleport Kelp in for the final battle with his Scourge Lords, him being the Scourge King himself. Should lead the final battle for the heart of Elysium, and then we can do a review, and that will be our game, guys. It will be the end of all things here on Elysium for this run. Pretty successful run. Pretty successful. I think the ending was okay. We obviously had our big fight with the Bakemono. I didn't know how much they had left, so wasn't able to get as theatrical with it as I might have been had I known their exact numbers, but dealt with them fine enough. With only the dwarves remaining, the last holdouts in Elysium versus the Scourge Lord, not surprising, they retreated to their underground tunnels while we scourged the land. But now we must even go beneath Elysium. I think there are a couple questions I still have about the Scourge Lord. How do they affect some of the other planes? Can we, like, go to the astral plane or whatever it's called, where the gods are, and mess with that? And scourge that? I don't know yet, but maybe we'll figure it out. Let's get these guys on some pyramids, and we'll have Kelp come in for this irritating battle. So this is what the dwarves do, and the reason the Bakemono didn't attack this is because if the dwarves don't get enough money, what they'll end up doing is building all the ballista imaginable with their production, and that's what they've done. She doesn't even have a gate. Can they not build a gate anymore? I can't imagine they took away the ability for them to build a gate. They must have just not built it. I can't imagine otherwise. As we crush these dwarves. I'm actually going to go kill this dwarf, just because I don't want him popping his head up again, potentially. I think he'll actually survive the faction if we go fight them now. So maybe we'll hold off on doing that just yet till we kill him so we can have an epic last battle with Ballista. And really that'll just show you guys what it looks like to be killed by Ballista and then just squash them. I'm wondering if... See, I have this question in my mind. If maybe we can still get more of the Bless, but if you keep rolling on the same things, eventually they'll maximize out. Some ants have decided to drown in the lake. They are truly stupid. Stupid tag does not describe how dumb that is. Although, yeah, this acts as a base. Does it act for a base? I think it does, even if they haven't recruited. Or even if they haven't used a counselor, I think that is still a base for them. We will Pyramid Gate. God, I want to hit the button. It's such a waste. Okay, it must be. It must maximize out, because there's no way we rolled the same things here that many times, right? Right? Has to be. And I think Kadur and Kelp next turn will go take on the dwarves together with this big old army. We'll get slashed by Ballista all over the place, but we'll regenerate most of it. And maybe we'll summon a little line of dudes with Kelp here. Just to have us have a little buffer zone. Yeah, there we go. We got a Scourge Flame or whatever, and we'll do some level 1 stuff. Ah, Centipede! The Dark Centipede has returned! Something we haven't seen in forever. Very useless summon, but we'll talk about that in the review, really. We'll get that. Floki, please don't jump on my bed. It's kind of gross right now. I've been having diarrhea. How you doing, buddy? One day you guys will see my cats if you haven't yet, eventually on stream. They come in from time to time, or on recording, or whatever I'm doing, although they tend to show up much more on stream when I don't do these in sets of hours, because they'll pop in and be like, where have you been for the past 2 hours? Okay. Let's do a Dark Scourge summons, some serpents, and we'll attack. We'll have one measly little dwarf up here to deal with, I believe. I could be wrong, which in that case, I just want to save so we can come back and do an overview of the game and then the faction. I don't know if I should do separate overview videos for all this stuff. Let me know if you guys are interested. I can provide all that I can. You'll see these things just start... Oh god, Ballista fire. With us, it's not that terrible, but it's still bad. You can see they're just taking out lines and lines. This guy is pretty impervious, though. And now that he is berserking, he can't be charmed, so... Won't fall to this confusion. She has a shit ton of level 2 spells. I'm gonna put some of that into level 3 stuff, because I think she uses gems to do it. He's getting chewed because he has no one with him, but 18 regeneration will protect him. And if we don't speed past this, guys, the ballistas are just going to take super, super long to fire every round. Evan's starting to get close, so he'll start casting spells, and that'll be the end of the dwarves, although they are completely immune to cold. So... yeah, we can't... his spells aren't super useful, the ones with the cold. But the fear, symbol of dread, will do plenty of damage. We have some confused guys. They might turn on us. Blast through the blast of the dwarves in their final stronghold. I'm almost out of water. Which means I'm going to lose my voice. The dwarf, the Dalva, is running back into her dwarven home to hide forever. We'll see if she makes it. And then, in the lore of our game, it'll be like the Scourge Lord has put a 100,000 gold bounty on the last Dalva, seen running below the tower, the depths. I don't think she'll make it, though. This guy's battle fast. She is particularly, not quick. She might, actually. She might. It's got a lot of ballista to work through. But once he gets going, he will just speed through. Just depends how long they last. Okay, let's see. Oh, nope, he ran away. I think she's going to make it out. She's going to make it out. The hunt for the Dalva will continue into the ages. Yep. As she is hidden. But with that, the Dwarf Queen was slain. Well, guys, we have achieved victory with Evan Kelp. Not the hardest Conquest game we've had. We got a good start. Definitely challenges with the Bakemono. Let's look at the score graphs. Oh my god. Okay. So army strength. You didn't see the Bakemono surfaced above us hardcore for a while. Where's the dip where we lost our troops? I almost wonder if that was here. One of these small dips is where we lost that big army, but that was not the core of our forces. And then once we started kicking off, it is just crazy. And you can see where we really started to fight them. Who is this blue line? There was a voice of the L. Here we go. The Witch. Yeah, I'm not so pleased with how the AI performed. One of the hardest factions in the game at the late game was sitting in a corner. I don't know what was going on with that, but disappointing that Xanthippe didn't make more of an appearance. Definitely could have caused us plenty of trouble with her spawns, and perhaps if she'd become a hag, she'd be charming all those men we brought in, which would lead us to a new solution. But I think I would have had the solution, and that solution would have been Scourge Winds, Ants, and things that can't be charmed. So Scourge Flames, and those all do really well against her because they're all poison resistant. So that would have been the answer, and bringing them in with just a basic commander. There's always solutions to problems. Citadels, gold. What does this drop? Oh, is that... That's probably when we buy things, yeah. No, it's income. Weird. Wonder what we were losing here. Production? Or if it's just bugged. You can see our life force graph. We had consistently good life force. And this is important. You guys, you're going to need early life force, and you're going to need it quick. Do not hesitate to build pillars. We can get into some of the other stuff now. So we're going to go through an overview of what happened in the game, just really quickly, and then we're going to go over this faction, what I think of it, and things like that. This is customary for my Conquest games that I tend to do an overview like this at this point. So we started down here, and we started pretty undisturbed by anyone. There were kobolds over here, and there was a barbarian encampment here, but I think these guys quickly got killed. And the only barbarians we really interacted with were these guys. Other than that, this place was pretty devoided of enemies. And there's a lot of barbarians who apparently fought each other early on. This guy might have not even made it off the island. I'm not going to go back in the video and see exactly when they all got eliminated. But we expanded out from here. We build pillars, and we build them as many as we can, and then when we see the opportunity that we're not getting disturbed, we're like, okay, we need to build a pyramid. And we build one here. We put it next to the town so we get a little bit of ghoul spawn. We didn't use them much. In hindsight, maybe it would have been better to keep this. But Evan Kelp, who lasted through the entire campaign, not the case for many of my campaigns. We do lose the main faction leader sometimes. But we expanded up through here, and kind of made a foothold here, and it became quickly apparent that we needed to deal with the kobolds, and we started to think about that. But again, it was mostly peaceful. We eventually got over here. We saw L, We didn't interact too much with L. L kind of fell. And then up here was the real meat of the campaign, where we kind of skirmished with the Bakemono up here. They took one of our first Scourge Lord and Prophet, our Herald, sorry, who was our first dude spawned in the game with us, except for Evan, who was our faction leader. So unfortunately he died to the Bakemono, I believe. And that left us with one less commander, so we needed to deal with that. And over time, we took this stuff. I know this wasn't the craziest campaign, but it does show you a look at the faction. That's what I'm happy about with this, is that it shows you a good look at the faction. We expanded up here. We killed the last of the dwarves at the end. We saw the isolationist witch who decided that it was better not to conquer Elysium, but to sit in a tower. Obviously proven wrong in her theory there, as we slew her. Then we can talk about the rest of the factions, or the faction, because that's where our real stuff comes in here. And we're just going to exit. We're going to load in on our most recent save and talk about this faction. So the Scourge Lord. We don't have a lot of our level 1 stuff right now, and I hesitate to really go through all of it. But needless to say, I think I can review it quite quickly. Your level 1 stuff has a couple of benefits. Most of them are wall climbers. A lot of them have web, and, you know, you get a lot of them. I don't like the hyenas, and as soon as you can start getting level 2 stuff, get level 2 stuff. I'll be honest. Because your level 1 stuff, I think, if I think about it, is really meant to just boost you off the ground if you're really in trouble. And that being said, the level 1 stuff is so bad, I think that you're really going to struggle in the early game if you don't end up with a start like us. If you end up like, if we were, say, like, here, or even, dare say it, like right here in between the kobolds and all these barbarians, this game might have never made it air, because we might have died almost immediately. You don't start out with a lot of units in your tower, in your citadel, and you also don't get a lot of good resources early on, and you're stressed to find a mine and multiple of them. And you also want to put your little miners down if you can, and that's a lot of conflicting stuff that you need to do. Because you need summons, you need miners, potentially, you need mines. You know, gold's nice, and you do need it, but, like, it becomes, like, your least priority in some respects. The early game strategy, I think, is going to generally revolve around getting a lot. You're not going to get cell souls too much later. You're going to get a lot of these guys, these desert warriors. The camel archers, I tend to avoid. They, you know, they're not terrible, but they don't guard your citadels, 1. And 2, they're fast, so if you don't mass them, they're going to run up and die. Because they're going to get all that arrow fodder and all those melee hits early on and just die. And I don't love that. And they will run up. They absolutely will. We've seen that. Now, they have a bow, but frankly, I don't know if it's that good. You know, and early on, if you start in a desert, they could be potentially good for action economy. Because they have desert moves, so you're going to be running through the desert and not using as many of your AP or movement points. Simplify that term. So I really think these guys are your answer. They have a good attack. They have a good bow. You're going to want a lot of them, and you're either going to put through a bunch of spearmen in the front line with their little shields, or you're going to do your summons. And I really suggest you do your early summons to fill your front line and hope you don't get hyenas. And then as soon as you get enough pillars to start branching into level 2 and you get that level 2 ritual of your Dark Scourge summons, you go with that. Because the level 2 Dark Scourge summons here are going to be really what are going to carry you through the game. They're going to do real good stuff for you. So keep that in mind. Now, you're also going to have these ghouls, and, you know, use these in your front lines too early on when you get them. You get them, of course, by putting it next to settlements. There's situations the undead stuff will be really good for you. Most of the situations you run into, these guys will just die. You know, sometimes you'll get a good fight and you'll create a bunch of ghouls, or you'll end up with more ghouls than you had before. Don't rely on that. These guys have 0 armor. Keep that in mind. They will die, and you'll lose them. I'd like to see a super ghoul. I'd like to see that at some point. A very good, really, really, really good ghoul troop of some faction. I don't know if that's in the game yet. I haven't played all the factions. Keep that in mind. I have played them all in 4, but not in 5, so there could be a super ghoul now, but there was not one in 5. In 4. But, unless it's with the Markgraf, but I'll be honest, I haven't played the Markgraf a lot either. I stay away from the Hobergs. I'm not a fan of the little faction that is the Hobergs. Although, I'll probably play them on the channel. I'm looking to expand my understanding of stuff that I haven't messed with in years or barely at all. So that's your level 1 stuff. Your level 2 stuff, like the Scourge Flame and these spiders, are big HP pools, and they either have ethereal or armor. In my opinion, this is where the faction starts to do actually well. Although, like, if you think about it, when the Demonologist starts to kick in, or the Elementalist, they will just tear through these guys. They won't tear through so much these guys. These guys are your real great ones when it comes to things like resistances. This answers a lot of your questions of, how do I deal with the Necromancer? How do I deal with the Demonologist? How do I deal with XYZ? Well, you deal with it with this guy, because, you know, the ice stuff and the Demonologist will do damage, but completely immune to the fire attacks, and they're going to have trouble hitting it. So this is... If you end up with that, we didn't have that issue. I'd say Scourge Flames are your mid-game, like, safety. You also have the Basilisk that you can end up putting behind them if you do mass them, which will be pretty good. They'll do some work for you. Other than that, our level 2 stuff, we have these Ant Queens, and I have purposely not talked about a lot of these yet. These are a lot of your mid-game troops as well, weirdly enough. They also kind of counterpart as your level 1 summon troops, but I think they really start to come online at level 2 when you start getting them as free spawn, and use them accordingly. Throw them at the enemy, and give them a bunch of attrition if you can. We didn't make super good use of them, but that's because of our enemy, the Bakmonos, would just slaughter these guys. But, you throw these against a Baron free spawn army, they'll probably die, but you'll probably kill a shit ton of stuff. They have good armor, and these guys are tiny, so they're hard to hit. And, yeah. They also have burrowing. We didn't see a lot of that happen too effectively. That's generally the feeling amongst the community I've been getting, is that tunneling tends to not be very good. And that tunneling usually gets your troops killed. There's probably exceptions, but I don't treat tunneling like it's good. I mean, is this a 5% chance? I have no idea. But it's not good. Just don't rely on tunneling. You almost don't want them to tunnel. I guess, like, maybe if there's, like, a very light protected fort, maybe do that, but... Otherwise, ick. We're gonna talk about pyramid stuff. Where is Kelp? Where the hell is Kelp? Oh, he's here. Let's talk about our rituals. Dark Bonds is really good. I think we probably should have made more use of this. Especially seeing the direction we're going to have to go with the Cell Souls. You're going to need a lot of gold, and if you get a bunch of iron mines, like that's, 4 gold, 4 iron, it's pretty good. And that'll do, within its limitations, great stuff to silver mines and gold streams. If you can get a gold mine, it'll be great, but, that's usually only one of those in the game, if any. And then we can talk about the pyramids. And the pyramids, besides being life drain, I think are not good defense posts. I could see an opportunity where I'm like, okay, I do want to put walls up, but like 50 Scourge force and 25 production? Why not just wait to build another pyramid with this? You're like, you can see, even in the late game, we don't have a lot of production. We could have been trading for hell of it, but I just don't think usually you're going to want to build walls. There's a few opportunities where maybe you might want to. And we can talk about heralds are pretty good once you get your blessing, but we'll get into that more. I want to talk about our guardians. Do we have a free guy who can build a guardian? Doesn't look like it. We'd have to go back. I'm not going to show guardians again. Guardians have level 1 dark spells, if you don't remember. They're bad. I'm sure there's a use for them. I'm sure you guys could find one. Maybe if you mass them, but if you mass them, keep in mind, right? Let's think about this. They are 100 life force and 10 production, right? Your production, you could invest that again in more pyramids, and then you get this insane blessing. There's situations, of course, where they might work out where you're facing like a high physical damage enemy, and you can mass them on a thing that's super defensible, like a river tower bridge thing, and you're like, oh, I'm killing everything. But I think I generally would just say they're not that great. If they had better level 1 spells, or if, anything that would give some saving grace, maybe if they could cast Fire Shield on themselves or something. But they tend to get swarmed, right? And then they just die. I guess you could put them in a base with defenders. But, if 20 to 30 archers can't defend it, and that's plenty of gold, right? I don't think they're going to defend it with this statue present that's casting level 1 spells. I don't, if, let's say 10 archers, if 10 archers can't defend it, I don't think the level 1 spells are going to put you over the edge in many situations. I just don't see that as the case. Now, you have plenty of opportunities here with what we're going to talk about next, which is your blessings. Your blessings are your bread and butter. Your blessings are going to provide you with the thing you need to win this game. And you can see how he played that these blessings are crazy. The 1 morale's okay that you start out with, and you get just crazy shit. I don't know if this is the exact how it plays out. I believe that it's likely going to be like you're going to have something that's varied on this, but if you get, I guess there's a world where you could end up getting like a bunch of strength and it'd be completely useless to you, because then you just have a bunch of, guys with low armor and big strength running around. But if you're going to likely end up having, a diversity of things with 3 protection. We have these originally 1 armor units just pumping out like crazy. They have decent HP pools that work well with the regeneration, which you can stack off of higher than 5% to at least 10 that we know of from this run. The Fire Shield is the big oomph. And, this isn't great versus demons, usually, because a lot of demons have fire resistance or fire warlocks, but everything else isn't usually going to have fire resistance. And, in fact, some things are super vulnerable. The trolls will die in legions to this. The Fire Shield will set them on fire. And, the Hydras, things like it. The Witch is super vulnerable to Fire Shield and her stuff. There's particular undead that are vulnerable to it. So, keep this in mind. Use it accordingly. Our next thing we're going to talk about after this bless is your level 3 summons. And this is where we get a little bit of disappointment. And then we're going to talk about the casters and we're going to wrap up. Your level 3 summons were those Scourge Winds and this Beetle and this Mycelion dude. This being the best because it has a bless, and that will carry you through a lot once you've started getting blessings. I'd say this guy becomes worth it as soon as you get regeneration, but unfortunately, Illwinter has put, a bunch of garbage in your level 3 summons. Like, you're either going to end up with a living deity, which is this guy, which you saw during most of his battles, didn't even, get wounded through the middle of the battle. He was just sitting at full HP as he killed everything with his 6 protection. And, at this scale, so keep in mind, he's going to be lower armor at the beginning, but he's still, he's only at 3, so he's going to be at 3 armor like originally, and he's going to only get better. And once you have regeneration, he's basically almost indestructible. And if you get a Fire Shield, it's like, oh, everything's going to die fighting him. If that stacks higher, then you're crazy. And if you have resistances, he's even more unkillable. But he's got fear, too, built into him. This is a great unit. This is what you want. You want this guy. You want more of these guys. I wish we had more than one to show you, but our rolls gave us a lot of Beetles and Scourge Winds. And this is, this is crap. This isn't what he's always like. He usually has more HP, and he sits towards the front. They have high armor, but they'll run in and get chopped down by magic if anyone has it. And by this point in the game, it's very likely your enemies will have magic that can kill this beetle. By the time you get level 3s, it's very likely that your enemies will have it, unless you've just sat in your base and somehow collected an insane amount of life force. Which I guess we could have done. We could have thrown down multiple pyramids in that area and just come out with level 3s. Which, you know, with any faction that you are able to do something like that with, they're gonna do that, so that's an obvious thing. The less obvious thing is that these guys are bad. Is because they cost so much, there's a much better alternative, and they're not impressive. Because they'll run up and die. And especially with your Scourge Winds. In a battle like this, your Scourge Winds would be valuable, because they tank the hell out of, not a battle like this, sorry, in a battle with a bunch of archers, let's say you're up against like 100 Hoberg crossbowmen somehow. That would be ideal. They're good versus factions like the Witch, factions that can mind control them. I can imagine a world where our spawns had gone differently, we hadn't invested in our Bless, and we're running a line of these guys, Scourge Winds and Basilisks, and we just slaughter everything with Death Gaze, and both of these don't die to them at all. And they just tank the front. But even then, if you're doing that, keep in mind, your winds are going to run up, and your Basilisks are going to have to catch up. So it's like, is that really the best? It's debatable. It's super debatable, I think, in whether or not they are as value as we might think they are. And so that's that. Let's move on to our casters. You have these Defilement mages. They benefit from your Bless, which is great. These spells are okay. It's not the most impressive level 3 casting in the game, I'll be honest. Now, early terror is great, but you can end up with weakness or your thing that your not dehydration, but the better form of it at level 2. And it's just not going to give you the kind of returns that Terror is going to give you, in my opinion. And, you know, the undead really don't get affected by this, I don't believe. Yeah. So, like, the level 2 spell is bad versus undead. Weakness is okay versus most things, but again, you run into that undead tag. And so if there's a bunch of long dead, these mages are basically useless, which makes sense. You know, he works off of draining life force and manipulating other people's life force. And if they don't have life force to work with in the sense of undead, with their undeath kind of corrupting it already, these guys aren't good. So Necromancer, big counter to the Scourge Lord early on, because early on they rely on these mages. But human factions, things like that, not that big of a deal. Warlock would probably be good against this faction, probably kill them pretty easily early on. Illusionist can just do absolute work, I think, against these. I think the Illusionist is the big counter to these guys, because they have low magic resistance, and if you put everyone to sleep and bring a bunch of archers and, you know, fire-immune illusions, these guys will just be crumpled, even if they're great. But that's going to be something we're going to explore very soon with the Illusionist, is that the Illusionist is one of the better factions in the game. And that's going to be our next run. But I think we've covered most of the things I wanted to talk about. So, I don't know, roughly I'd say, you know, play the Scourge Lord. Thematically, he's really cool. He creates these big deserts. But don't expect it to be, like, OP. You're definitely going to struggle more than other factions might. And, you know, balance is a thing that's difficult to achieve with a game series like this. And, you know, you're going to have your counters. And there's definitely a lot of counters to the Scourge Lord. And it takes a long time for him to get the tools in his toolbox online to deal with everything. And you saw once we got it online, they're kind of really great. But you could imagine a couple situations where the Witch had been a hag at level 3, where all these guys are getting charmed and then we lose all of them, or situations like that where we're really in a bad spot. But that's the Scourge Lord. I would definitely suggest playing this faction if you have the game. If not, you can always watch us play other factions like the Illusionist, and I hope you do join us for that. It's been a pleasure for you joining us. I hope you guys will join us on our next series. Not next time for this one, because this one is ending. Evan Kelp, the Dark One, has conquered Elysium and now rules it as its overlord for the remaining years to come. And so we'll see you guys next time as we conquer Elysium again, lying and tricking and being deceitful, melding the minds of men with the illusionist. Or you could join us with our Baron as the Grey Warden family tries to become the monarchs of Elysium, bringing order and justice in the way they know how through sword and battle. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, as I should say, as my friends will tell me to say, as I sometimes forget to do it, but and they always message me. They're like, "Hey, don't forget to say that. You're supposed to do well on this YouTube thing." And I'm like, I am who I am. But I digress. I've rambled here for a little bit, but that's me. So I hope you've enjoyed. See you next time.